I'm Melissa from Modern Maid, and today let's learn how to weave in your ends like a pro. I'm going to create a fake end with this dark green yarn, just so you can see the contrast of it against this light colored yarn here, so it's easier to see what we're doing. You're going to need a blunt eye needle. So this isn't sharp like a sewing needle, it's just blunt at the end, and then the eye is larger so that you can fit yarn through it. Thread your yarn through the eye of the needle, and then we'll get started weaving in the end. If we pretend that the end is here, I'm going to start weaving that yarn through the stitches in one direction, about 1.5 to 2 inches, just weaving it through the stitches that are there, and then pull it through. And you'll want to make sure that the tension of the yarn that you wove through matches the tension of your stitches, so that no big pieces are sticking out or pulled tight. And then you're going to weave through the opposite direction. And you can do this as many times as you'd like. I find that weaving one direction and then the other ensures that the end is secure without creating like a bulkiness that makes where you threaded the end in more obvious. And then the last step is to stick your needle through some of the existing yarn in your fabric. So not through a stitch, but through the yarn itself. And pull that through. Make sure that the tension is good, and then you can trim off that end. And that's what it's looking like, nice and secure. It would look a lot better if it was the same color of yarn, but we'll do that next. Now we will practice on a true end so you can see what that looks like. So first step is threading my needle through the existing stitches in one direction, about 1.5 to 2 inches. Pull that through, make sure the tension is good, and then we're going to thread it through the opposite direction. Make sure that tension is good, not too tight, not too loose. And the last step is to stick the needle through the yarn of the piece that you made. So not a stitch, but the yarn. Pull that through, make sure the tension is good, and trim that off. Voila, that is it. So it looks really good and seamless. And that end is really secure and it will not come out. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like it and consider subscribing. I release new crochet and knitting content every week. You can also find me on Instagram and TikTok, where I have my bite-sized content and tutorials, and I have a range of knitting and crochet patterns available on Etsy. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.